السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين، ونحن على ذلك من الشهيدين. جزاكم الله خير, my dear respect brothers and sisters. Inshallah, with Allah ta'ala, today, brothers and sisters, we're going to continue to talk about the lessons that we should be learning from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What are some of the things we could extract as a curriculum for us to learn and move forward with when we are trying and reading the seerah of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Brothers and sisters, one of the things that we tend to overlook as Muslims, and this is one of the things that the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always try to implant in our heads, that Islam is just the religion of the Muslims or the religion of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Brothers and sisters, one of the things that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam want to install in us, it is the understanding of, as we call it in Arabic, مركزية اتباع هدى الأنبياء, that the importance and the central meaning that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not following a religion that he came by himself solo, but rather a religion of all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that we are following the guidance of all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted to convey this to us on several occasions during his seerah, and always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have talked about this in several times in the Quran. For instance, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ وَجَاءَكَ فِي هَذِهِ الْحَقَّ وَمَوْعِظَةً وَذِكْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ. And we are telling you the stories of the prophets before you, so it would confirm you in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have brought you the truth, and it's indeed this reminder for the believers. So this brothers says, if we, what is the whole point of that in the Quran there is narrations of previous prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why? Because it would bring us back and tell us the stories that we might be experiencing nowadays, or maybe experiencing in the future. Because it's at the end of the day, the stories are the same. You have the haqq fighting the batil. You have people who are persevere, trying to spread the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the people who are wrong, trying to spread their mischief, and etc. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always, when we read the Quran, the story of Sayyidina Isa, the story of Jesus, the story of Moses, the story of Sulaiman, the story of Dawood, the story of Lut, the story of Adam, So all these stories, why? So it could confront us and show us that, this is قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that هذه سبيل, this is the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله, and I'm calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala على بصيرة, on a right path. أنا ومن اتبعني, me and whoever follow me. وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين. Indeed, I'm not among the people who are polytheists. So brothers and sisters, one of the most centralized idea that we could extract from the seerah of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that this religion is not just the religion of Muhammad, it's the religion of all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came and he completed the message for us, and he is the last messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he did not come out of nowhere and inventing a new religion, but this is the religion of Sayyidina Isa. It is the religion of Sayyidina Musa. It is the religion of Sayyidina Adam. It is the religion of Sayyidina Dawood and Lut and Ismail and Ishaq and Yaqub, and all of them were prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from time to time, you see Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam hinting and talking about these prophets, showing their experiences and how have they had similar experiences during their da'wah in this earth? You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for instance, He said, أولئك الذين هدى الله فبهداه مقتدي. You know, these are the ones Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have guided. So with their guidance, we should follow their guidance. You know, uh, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قل إنني هداني ربي إلى صراط مستقيم دينا قيما ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have guided me indeed into the straight path. The path of whom? The path of Sayyidina Ibrahim. And I am not among the polytheists, you know. So this is to show us over and over that again, the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not bring a new religion to each and every prophet, and no, it was the same. Maybe there is the general ruling maybe differ from time to time, but in the central meaning, the central message is the same, which is what? Calling toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one. And this life is a test, and we are here for a short term of life, and then after that we're going to be meeting him. One time, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he narrated to us the following story. He said, كأني أنظر إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. I am as if I'm watching Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is saying this, like I'm watching Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. يحكي نبيا من الأنبياء. He's telling us about a prophet of the previous prophets. ضربه قومه فأدموه. And his people have hit him so much to the point that he was bleeding. وهو يمسح الدمع على وجهه, and he's wiping the blood from his face, and he would say, ويقول اللهم اغفر لقومي فإنهم لا يعلمون. Oh Allah, forgive my nation, they do not know. That's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have done, in which that they were hitting him when he went to Ta'if. You know, even when he was, even in the time of Uhud, you know, people were hitting him, but was he making dua against him? No, he said, Allahumma liqawmi فإنهم لا يعلمون. Oh Allah, forgive my nation, they do not know. And this is same what other prophets in the past have done, just like what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is narrating to us. Oh Allah, forgive my nations, they do not know. And that's the spirit, brothers. This is the spirit of a true prophet, in which that his essence and the sole reason of why he is here is for us to convey the message. It's not about him being envious. It's not the fact that he wants to spread hate. It's not about the fact that he wants to make sure that he treat people eye for an eye. He's not about seeking revenge. No, I mean, this is, wallahi, brothers and sisters, that one statement that I just mentioned, it proves the prophecy of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if any of us, normal people, was in the same position, we would use that and take that as an opportunity to make dua against the people. We would supplicate, oh Allah, destroy these people. Oh Allah, look what these people have done to me. But rather, when someone have the spirit of mercy, the spirit of forgiveness, the spirit of looking after people, the spirit of making sure that he takes people and grab their hands toward heaven. That's the truth. All of this is characteristics of a true prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have done, and that's what previous prophets in the past have done. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud always also narrated to us another story. He said, one time, قسم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قسم. Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was dividing the money among the companions. فقال رجل, a man stood up and he said, إن هذه لقسمة ما أريد بها وجه الله. This the way you're dividing the money is not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يعني subhanallah, he's overstepping his boundaries, and he's telling Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم this is not right. فأتيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخبرته. And so Abdullah said he went back to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Look at what this man is saying. فغضب حتى رأيت الغضب في وجه. Prophet was upset of what this man have said. He said ثم قال, what he said, what said Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, يرحم الله موسى فقد أوذي بأكثر من هذا فصبر. Oh, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on Sayyidina Musa, on Prophet Musa. He was hurt, he was harmed more than this. But what was his response? He was patient. SubhanAllah, look at the reflection that he have done. And even though he was going through an experience, but rather he remembered his brother Sayyidina Musa. He remembered Sayyidina Musa and how he was suffered with his own people. Each and every prophet have suffered with their people, in which that they were rejected. They abused him. Sometimes they attempted to kill him, killed some of these prophets. Sometimes they attempted to harm them. But at the end of the day, that's the one of the huli. That's one of the things that each and every prophet used to beautify themselves with, is patience and mercy. Of course, this depends on whether they are in a state of power or not power, but this is a different story. But I think the point here is that how Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam took that opportunity to show us that he is not alone, but in these situations, but rather he is experiencing something that the previous prophets have experienced. It's not only that, brothers and sisters. When it comes to the rituals of Islam, for instance, the Shahadatu Allah ilaha illallah, the very first pillar in Islam, that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is the Muslims the only one who made that claim? Or all the prophets in the past have made the claim in which they were saying La ilaha illallah, there is no God except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to the salah, prayer, we're only the only ones who used to pray, or the previous prophets used to pray. The previous prophets used to pray. And even if we look at the Old Testament, and we would see that Sayyidina Ibrahim and Sayyidina Musa used to make prostration, they used to make ruku', they used to make sujood. And these are clear. There are clear references to these things that you would see in the Old Testament, that talks about these things. Not only that, even when it comes to Siyam, the pillar of fasting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what he said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم. All you who believe, fasting was prescribed on you just like it was prescribed in previous nations. Telling us what? That we are not new. And this this ritual is not new on us, but rather it was something that was practiced by the previous prophets before us. Again, to show us that again we did not come out of nowhere. And Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam even hinted to this in several times. Like for instance, when Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ahabbu siyami ilallah siyamu Dawud." The most belovable siyam, fasting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the fasting of Sayyidina Dawud. Look at this. The most beloved fasting is the fasting of whom? Prophet Dawood. Why? كان يصوم يوما ويفطر يوما. He used to fast one day and he used to break his fast the other day. وأحب الصلاة إلى الله صلاة داود. And the most beloved prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the salah of Sayyidina Dawood. How? كان ينام نصف الليل. He used to sleep half of the night. ويقوم ثلثه. And then he used to make قيام الليل 1/3 of the night. وينام ثلثه. And then he would sleep the last sixth of the night. So he used to sleep 1/2, make qiyam 1/3, and then he would sleep the other 1/6. And this is an authentic hadith, though it was mentioned in Bukhari. Again, all of this show us what? That in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same. The religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mentioned these prophets to us in the Quran. Why? To remind us, to show us, to tell us that the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same. Yes, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a final messenger, and he showed us everything that we need to know. But again, we are not a new innovation, but rather we are followers of all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is something that we need to be proud of, and we have to tell others about. the fact that we are the followers of all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what I have for you, brother and sister, for tonight. جزاكم الله خير من حسن استماعكم. سبحانك وبحمدك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين عملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا. جزاكم الله خير، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.